Hi, I'm Joe Revita from Empire Music, empiremusic.com in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and we were one of only a handful of Taylor Guitars online preferred dealers, which gives us the chance to show you something new for 2022. New models. We haven't had new models in so long. With the pandemic, it's been really hard for brands to get new stuff out, and today I'm excited to present to you, launching just now, the new Taylor AD27e Flametop. And it's the first all-solid maple standard production model I've ever seen from Taylor Guitars. And for those of you who don't know, I've sold Taylor Guitars since like 1994 when I was 14, 15 years old. There's never been an all-solid maple guitar. And this is amazing. It's part of the American Dream series. Check that out, it's fire. This thing is awesome. It's a dreadnought, but really a Grand Pacific, right? Which is Taylor's slope shoulder dreadnought design. It's a 7 model, so it's AD27e. This has the expression system too. The real story is solid figured maple top, solid flame maple back and sides, maple neck, and the first American Dream guitar to have ebony fingerboards and bridges. You know, for a while, and for the other models, they're using roasted eucalyptus. So this is more in line with the standard Taylor models that are all ebony fingerboards and bridge, ebony peghead overlay, V-class bracing, and that's going to play a huge part in the story I'm going to tell you about this guitar and what makes it important. The American Dream series is cool because it's meant to be a high-end, more cost-conscious guitar because it's not quite as dressy, but you wouldn't know that looking at this one. This is what they call a wood smoke finish. It's a really sexy kind of like burst. Really brings out the depth in the flaming, in the figuring, in the maple. You still get the chamfered edges, so they leave it unbursted here, which is really amazing. So it gives it this really great pop of color. So absolutely a beautiful guitar. And if we had to talk about maple guitars, or maple as a tone wood, we know it's hard. And with hard woods, we tend to think bright, and everyone freaks out. It's going to be bright. Well, first of all, maple gives us tons of definition, super articulation. It's the cleanest, to me, like the cleanest sounding tone wood. If you like to do hammer-ons, you like to do fingerstyle, you want to cut through a mix. If you play in worship or you're in a band and you want to fill a space and be heard and not get gobbled up by other instruments or other guitar players, maple's where it's at. But with the Grand Pacific body shape, the V-class bracing really brings the guitar more balance, more warmth, just a fullness to it. They put D'Addario uncoated nickel bronze strings on here, so an organic design for the string as well. And to me, you'll hear this guitar be very percussive, very the dreaded adjective of woodsy, but I think that's a really a good way of describing it. Taylor described it as dry, and as someone who's around guitars all day, I know exactly what they mean, but I think that could come off maybe as not being as great sounding as it is, not only the best adjective. It has less overtones, and the guitar is very percussive, and it sounds amazing. It's not overly bassy, but the bass is present. The mids are great. The top end gives you that cut that you want, but definitely not brash. If you're thinking this is gonna be like a super bright and sparkly, like edgy guitar, I don't think that's an accurate description of it all. So standard scaling, 25.5. Again, the V-brace, the guitar really has a lot of projection, and even though maple is a harder wood, might not give you the total output of spruce, it still has plenty of go. So if you're playing just around with your buddies and you're afraid of not having enough volume, that will not be an issue with this guy. So if you watch any of my videos, you know that I like to do the dynamic range, and I like to do kind of like the mids of the guitar so you can see how the guitar sounds balanced. You can see this specific guitar and all of our Taylor guitars right at empiremusic.com. You can call us 412-343-5299. Please like our channel. We'll get you hooked up, do full factory setups and everything we sell, so we'll get this ready to rock before we ship it to you or you pick it up in store. So let's go about the dynamic range. The V-class bracing has redefined Taylor guitars because it's made the guitars fuller sounding, they offer more sustain, and I feel like the darkest guitars that had the brightest tops kind of like got rounded out. The guitars with the brightest sound a little bit smoother. The guitars that didn't have as much bass have a little bit more, and that's what you're gonna find here, right? Grand Pacific design gives it this boldness, but it's really responsive because maple is fast acting, and the V-bracing allows the top to respond quickly. So let's check it out and just show you quiet to heavy and see what you think. lots of output, plenty of sustain. The thing that hits me the most is obviously a Grand Pacific. When you're playing it and strumming it kind of medium attack, heavier attack, you feel that percussion vibe of it. You feel how percussive it is. It's great. Where it stands out is kind of like the third time through. The last time I just picked through the notes individually. The guitar really gives you this next level of fullness, which is really, really nice. And you can really, as a player, demand the instrument to sound different based on your attack, which is amazing. Unlike the first time through when I biffed a note. It's my first video of 2022, give me a break. Now, the middle of the neck, will this be balanced? V-class is balanced, maple's a hardwood, so this guitar is gonna sound really, really nice and clean all the way through the middle of the instrument. It's amazing, you know what I mean? It's just like, to me, the adjective of dry is dead on with it. You don't get all these overtones. It's not bouncing all over the place. It's really, really concise. It sounds just really, really, woodsy is the word, like organic, you know what I mean? It's definitely got that percussive vibe. Even when you pick through it lightly, you feel the roundness of it, and you really hear the tone change as your pick attack changes. So when you're picking lightly, it's more subdued, and as you open it up, it gives you more. It's really an impressive instrument. Comes with an arrow case. You know, Taylor is gonna just kill it in 2022 because if they're designing instruments like this that more of us can play that are unique, this doesn't exist in their lineup. You can't get an all solid maple guitar in Taylor's lineup. It just doesn't exist. So I'd love for you to go to empiremusic.com, check out the AD27e Flametop in a wood smoke finish. Brand new for 2022, solid maple top, back, and sides, ebony fingerboard and bridge, V-class bracing. At Empire Music, you know you get full factory setups, so we're gonna dial the guitar in exactly it should be for the Taylor spec. So right at the end of the assembly line, we're gonna go ahead and do the work to make sure it's ready to play when you pick it up in store or we ship it to you online. Check us out at empiremusic.com. You can chat with us through the site. I'm Joe from Empire Music, empiremusic.com, with the Taylor AD27e Flametop, which is new for 2022. Thanks for watching.